Good morning, everyone. Ron Nicoletti along with Brian Nato, and what a special day. And, of course, Samantha Perry will be joining us throughout the afternoon. This is Pegasus Day, Brian. Very exciting. And what a beautiful, beautiful morning.
You know, we struggled on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday with the weather. That is not an issue anymore. It is phenomenal. Look behind us. The sun is out. Fast main track, firm turf course. The guys, Kenny and the crew, have done a wonderful job getting everything ready. Tapeta, of course, as well. 7 stakes, 7 graded stakes, culminating with the $3 million Pegasus World Cup, race number 13. Pools are huge. We are ready to roll.
We got the Rainbow Six this afternoon, and of course we got the mandatory today, but you got a chance to take it down, and then you see, there you go, that's very all the estimated pools in there, and late pick 5, late pick 4, tropical turf. We got it all today.
Yeah, man, the mandatories tomorrow, the estimated jackpot in the Rainbow today, which is in race number 8. On this 13-race bonanza, we're estimating $1 million. I might throw $2 million out there, Ronnie. It's going to be huge today, and that's what we're looking forward to tomorrow.
Yeah, that is a mandatory payout, no matter what. Even if it goes down today, mandatory tomorrow. We got so much to do, Brian, so we're going to jump right into this card. And as Brian mentioned, Tony, everybody did such a great job getting these surfaces ready today. So the first is going to be on that firm turf course. These are maidens, and they are 3-year-olds, and we're going to scratch the 13 and 14. 15 and 16 are in and going to run, and Brian's got his early pick 5 ticket.
We have horizontals galore today. 4 pick 5s, 4 pick 4s, Ronnie's Rainbow. Let's take a look at a whale of a ticket right here. I'm going to play 175 on this ticket, and this is aggressive, but it's that kind of day, Ron, so I'm okay giving this one out here. We'll spread in the opening leg. You can see the single, the fastest horse in the world, is in race 2. That's Disruptor for Todd Pletcher, the first-time starter. Race 3 is the one Can Group on top. Race 4 for me on top. In that spot there is the 3, and that is Tutta La Vita. And another spread in race 5 with the 7 in that turf sprint, Panther Island. I will also tweet out a budget ticket as well if this is not for you, and obviously I get that, but it's a big, big day, Ron.
Yeah, Brian, how did you see this work out in the first race? I personally went with the 4 Kunan.
Well, you got the stat for that, so go with it, Ronnie.
Let's show that real quick, the stat with the number 4 Brian also has on his ticket. I thought this horse was a logical contender in here, and the first-time starter from Brad Cox. First-time starters, turf routes in the past 5 years. That's a solid. That's 143 horses. To win at 21%, that's pretty good. 43%. Here's the kicker. Positive return of investment.
Which is shocking for this barn.
Right.
Big pedigree here. The dam won the Grade 2 Franco out at our sister track at Santa Anita. Half to Blitzkrieg, who earned close to $500,000, won the Grade 3. If you're just kind of tuning in with us today, Brad Cox has run limited horses here. Every single first-time starter he's run has been very, very live. So I think this is a dangerous horse.
You have Floridas on top, and you have a video. You want to play.
I'm going to take a shot. We're going to probably call this the other Todd Pletcher because Irad is on the 5, or Irad is on the 6, excuse me. He's working with 6- here, and he's on the inside. 6- is a very, very capable, nice horse for Todd. He's a nice turf horse. I thought Thorsness ran in this, at least this drill, I thought he kind of got the better of him, Ron. You can see 6- on the outside being asked a little bit. Thorsness is well within himself here, down on the inside, kind of always taking the worst of it a little bit, but he did not want to let 6- get by. We have seen in these arenas in the past the other Pletcher, the other trainer's horse win. I'm going to take a shot with him at what looks to be a big number.
A horse that's taking early money right now is number 11, Up for an Oscar, and this one, Chad Brown, Tyler Gaffleone in the saddle today, and the horse has been working very steadily up at Payson Park. We'll see if we get and a key. The best part with the early pick 5, you get to see the odds before you put your ticket in.
Yeah, and Samantha will talk about him as well. They paid $725 for this son of Oscar Performance. The post is not good at all.
Second race is going to be a 7-furlong sprint. If you're just joining us, fast main track, and these are maiden 3-year-olds, no scratches, jockey changes needed. Number 8 horse is now a gelding in this. And Brian, you going to show your pick 5?
No, we'll tweet it out. It's kind of a run back of the early pick 5. We'll have tickets all day long.
And you went with the fastest horse in the world, according to you, and that's the number 5. Disruptor.
Well, Disruptor's 7-5 on the morning line. If you read the hype or do the kind of work out there on social media, he could be 3-5 in this spot. Let's show you some AM activity for him. First-time starter for Todd Pletcher, Rapoli and company. Irad is here, rumored to be an absolute runner. He's on the outside here. Didn't break super alertly, quickly into the bit here. This is just, this is the work 47 flat here, so he's going to drill his stablemate by what is the equivalent of 6 lengths. You can see him. He's got some speed to him. Irad is here. This is a big-time work at Palm Beach Downs for Todd, and the tote action is going. If you look at these double will pays, he's already buried. I know it's 63 minutes to post, but this is a very, very hype / steam horse, and it's exciting to see him debut today.
Yeah, it's going to be a real signing. I'm going to try and beat him a little bit with the number 7, Bob Moe. The reason I is it's the most experienced runner in the field, and I like that performance at 7 furlongs. And Brian, you know me, when I see a horse run well at 7 furlongs, it catches my eye. I know all about Disruptor. Maybe I get a little lucky with Bob Moe. Would I not use Disruptor on my ticket? Of course I would, but I'm just saying the way I saw that race playing out. Anything else in this race?
Well, I think the bloom's a little bit off the rose of the 6 Jimmy's Dailies. He's going to take some money. He does get Lasix for Brian Lynch, who won yesterday. We'll see about him. I think he's meeting 2 real horses, including your Bob Moe.
We're on the turf for race number 3. It's 1 mile. It's an allowance optional claimer, and these are 4-year-olds and up. We're going to scratch the 5 Battle Call, the 7 Armstrong, and the 13 and 15. 14 and 16 probably get it in and run. I think they do get in and run this afternoon. And don't forget, when we're done here, Pete Aiello will give you all the updated scratches. How'd you see this one?
I went to the inside with Can Group at a price here for Cassie and DJ. We had Lasix. Guys, let's bring up the Tropical Park Derby. Both Can Group, he was 7th. Now, here's a middle pick 5. Thank you, guys, for Samantha. And these tickets are going to be huge all day.
This is middle pick 5.
Middle pick 5. It's the second of 4 pick 5. So here she is for 121.50. Again, we'll tweet these tickets out all day long. 4 pick 5s. 4 pick 4s, and of course Ronnie's huge rainbow as well. So we'll get back to this race here. Let's just start it with Can Group in Full Nelson. Full Nelson at 44-1 is going to get necked out. Can Group's trying to come up the fence. No real trouble for him. He was beaten 2.5 lengths. He's going to add Lasix today. The post works again. I think maybe the Lasix could really move him up. I'm taking a shot, Ron, in what is an absolutely wide open spread kind of race, and I'm looking for a price.
No, we had rain over the last couple of days, but it's been well documented that this race, turf course, plays to speed. So I was enamored with the number 9 Saratoga Flash, and I just think this horse is going to be motoring coming out of the gate this afternoon. You see who this horse ran into Fort Lauderdale behind Major Dude, and Fort Washington we'll see a little later on in the Pegasus Turf. I think this horse may get loose on the lead this afternoon.
Well, he's going to like the cutback. I don't think there's any doubt about that. You're probably going to know your chances very early on. If somebody goes with him early, it's going to be a problem for him late. But as Ronnie said, now, the big scratch is the 7 Armstrong. I don't think he could have won, but he was going to get to the front in this race. That's out the window. That helps your horse a lot. Guys, let's bring up Raptor's video as well, because he's another horse, especially with a kind of a bad post. He's going to be rolling from out there. Here he is up at Woodbine for Mark Cassidy. How about Dylan Davis? We got to give him a mention. Ron.
Oh, my goodness.
Wow, has he come down here and done well.
I have 25-1 or $25 horse yesterday. Just win. He's got like 12, 15 wins already.
He's been really, really strong down here. He's only going to get better. Raptor couldn't quite see it out at that long, never-ending stretch at Woodbine. But with this post drawing outside Ronnie's speed horse, I think he is a player in here, and he was the 5th horse I used in my early pick 5 and early pick 4 as well.
Well, just a note, that race that horse produced, that race produced a couple of next out winners, both of them stakes winners up in Canada, so it was a pretty good race. So lots of ways you can look at our selections up there. The only thing we agree on is the number 6 horse in here, Full Nelson, who we showed, with Cameron. So it's a wide open affair.
That's exactly it. And Full Nelson gets Lasix, and he'll be rolling through the lane.
Now, the race 4 is going to have another pick 4 from Brian. It's a mile 70 yards on the Topeka. It is the South Beach. We're going to scratch the 4 Neon Icon and the number 10 Di Grosso. You will see Di Grosso a little later on in the Pegasus
Philly Mare Turf.
Philly Mare Turf, right. This race here, how'd you see it, Brian?
Let's show the ticket, because now we're starting to intermingle some other races in here. You can see I'm spreading. We know I'm spreading in race 5. I'm spreading in race 6 as well, and that's a wildly competitive Topeka handicap. I've got the 10 on top for me, and in race 5 you can see the single, my best bet of the day. That is Beautiful Love. I've got Evade on top in race 6 at 10-1.
10-1. So, you got pretty good ticket there, $25 after that monster early ticket you had in there. And as I mentioned, now interesting to see how you started this with this race off, because I have the 5 Sand. I'll tell you about Sand and Sea. I thought this horse had a pretty good shot in here. Turning back in distance. Once again, I'm a sucker for speed. I like the turn back. This horse loves the Torpedo.
Right here.
Riley Mott is the trainer. Let's look at a stat I got for him real quick, and you'll check it out. And here it is list. Wow. Winner on Torpedo over the past 2 years. Just starting out, this young guy, and he's fantastic. He's 42%, 75% in the money. 268 is the return investment. What do you got to get hit in the head with a rock? This
there you
looks
go.
like a logical contender.
Absolutely. She's the house horse. There's no doubt about it. She loves it here. She's 4 for 6. The question is, does she get nagged a little bit by the Turfway Invader, the 7? They might be hitting pretty good here up front.
I think I know you single, right? Didn't you on one?
I got Tuta La Vita on top. Yeah, I mean, she ran on the turf in her first start in the country for Nacho Correas. Got IRAD. Look at the Torpedo drills. They're big time drills. Wouldn't shock me at all if she goes favored, even though the Turfway Invader, Dana's Beauty's 3-1 here. It's a competitive race. I think those 3 horses are going to vie for favoritism, and you could do no wrong picking any of them.
Yeah, and you just see how it plays out in here. Also the 7 horse in here, Dana's Beauty, you think would have a decent shot.
Yeah, I mean, she's coming down off a $250,000 stakes win on the Torpedo at Turfway Park for Mike Maker. She's got to prove it here, but she's got a lot of class to her.
Well, we're going to flip the page and go to race number 5, and this is the 16th running of the Gulfstream Park Sprint, $165,000, 5 furlongs on the turf. Also, we got my whatever pick 5 this is. I don't know if it's middle, whatever.
Middle, I like that.
You see my ticket here, and it's the old reverse pyramid type of thing. We'll talk about the 5th race in a moment. I had lots of coverage in race number 6. I used the 6 on top, and that's exact estimate. Race number 7. The 3 is my top pick is actually 4, but I used a bunch. La Mahina. I got a stat on horse. Dylan Davis will be aboard. Here we go. I like Rocket Can. I'm taking a shot here. This course certainly loves Gulfstream Park. And just 2 for me in race number 9. I think the 11 horse is the one to beat. That's Bold Act, but I threw in limited liability for Mr. Shug McGee. $64 for me.
I like that middle. I think you just coined something.
It's when you got 5 of them, you got to come up with some names.
Come up with something.
Interested to see how you saw race 9.
I don't think I saw it, Ron. I made a pick. I don't know if I saw it or not. Turf sprints are so difficult. Big scratch of None Hudson. I think I heard you say your top pick.
Right.
Right now, the 13 is in. We know that. I think the 14 and 15 are coming out, but again, Pete's upstairs with all that. Out. Statement of fact from Eli. Thank you. I took a shot with Panther Island. Back with Laura Cazares. He's got some class. He's got some races here. That's the 7 horse that make him a player in here, and he's got a little bit of a rating gear in a race where, Ronnie, you know darn well, boy, are they going to be flying around there.
Yeah, I went with the 9 horse on top right now. You got in second, no balls, and this one just, look at its record. I remember that race in Santa Anita and, British Cup Turf. That was some performance by this horse. He's got tactability, which I think is key in this race, because you're going to have horses motoring in here, and I thought No Balls would sit the perfect trip in here. And then you deal with how fast. Oh, we got a replay, right, with Coppola? Yeah, that horse is fast.
That horse is crazy fast. He popped the gate last time. The race was over, 2 strides out of the gate. He was 3 clear in the front. Here's Reef Runner trying to loop out the back. He was a 3-year-old facing older. He ran darn well. But when you give a horse like Coppola, who likes the course as well, he's 3 for 6 over it. When he catches a flyer at the start, the race is over. This was a fast, firm turf course. There was no catching him at all. I think things are going to be a little different today. The turf course is listed as firm. I'm not questioning that, but what I'm telling you is it's different today than it was on December 21st.
Right.
There's no doubt it has some way, shape, or form, a little give to it, okay? It might not be the paved highway that it has been all meet, and that might level the playing field for the stalker closers just a little bit today.
And I think the key, and I'm glad you put this one on your ticket, was Johnny Padres. This horse here, he is absolutely going to sit the trip. I thought if this speed thing, I put him in 3rd. You get an IRAD. He's one of the best at time in races, or the best at time in races, what's unfolding in front of him. I think you used this horse on your ticket.
He is going to be flying late.
Right.
He will pass a lot of horses late. How many he passes is a question mark. There's horses with no speed, and then there's Johnny Padres.
Trying to think if Johnny Padres was on
Dodgers catcher.
Dodgers catcher, yeah. Dodgers catcher, you California guys know that. And that, of course, from Cali. So it was at Del Mar last race. Let's go and flip the page. Miles, 70 yards on the all-weather Tapeta. And this is the Carousel Club presented by the Hard Rock. Scratch the 7, 13, and number 14. 6 for me. How did you see it?
Another doozy of a race.
Sam's got to pick 4.
Oh, we'll take a look at that. Samantha's pick 4.
This is the middle.
$18. She's got my top pick, the 10. You can see her singling in race number 8, and that is the 8. My top pick as well. Singling. She's on the 5 in race 8. Excuse me. So she's coming back with the classy horse of Tumba Rumba for Brian Lynch, an $18 late pick 4 ticket. It starts with a real head scratcher, Ronnie, on the Tapeta. I went with the 10. I took a shot with Evade, Mike Maker. We're going to try Tapeta. We get Lasix today, running in 3-year-old stakes races. The Tapeta is unknown. He comes over from Fairgrounds with some sharp AM activity, and he's going to offer value with good to see Oisin Murphy back here at Gulfstream Park. We saw him last winter. It's a head scratcher. Look at the morning line. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I think there's 6 horses at 8-1. Impossible race. 5-1 morning line favorite.
I went with the number 6 exact estimate, as I mentioned at the top in here. Just second off the bench for Chad Brown. Edgar Zayas just having a great meet. And I thought, why not? He's got tactical speed. Why can't this horse run well in the spot? 8-1 on the morning line. Yeah. I used the 11 like you did. I thought the 11 has a big shot near Jerry the Nipper, who beat exact estimate last time.
Well, Jerry the Nipper got to Tapeta last time for Pletcher and Irad, and he simply forgot to stop. And he went pretty quick early, so you can't beat him up for it. It's not like he walked the dog, they let him go. He went 47 flat. It's hard to wire Tapeta races going 2 turns when you run that quick early. There might be more speed in here today. He's poorly drawn as well. It just adds to what is a real handicapping puzzle.
Well, Jerry never comes back.
Jerry never comes back, and he didn't come back last time.
So let's go to race number 7, and this one is 1.5 miles, so we're stretching it out on the turf. It's the 55th running of the La Prevoyante presented by Stella Artois. Good beer, if you like that stuff. 165,000. My buddy here certainly does. A full field going to be here, and this is a race that, there's so many different ways to go. You went with the number 4. The number 5, I went with the 4. So let's start with Beautiful Love. I think you got a replay
we
on the
do.
show.
This is my best bet of the day. She's all class. Great to see Charlie Appleby and Godolphin running several horses today. This is, by the way, the Breeders' Cup Filly and Mare turf, and she was beaten a length. 1 length for all of it. She's down inside. She doesn't even have a clear go of it here. Finally, she gets her seam. She's going to run on. The winner, we know how good Moira is, down from Canada. She ran huge. Good to see her get it done that day. Cinderella's Dream. Didia, former winner of the Pegasus Filly and Mare turf. So she runs so well. Beautiful Love, 1 or 2 Godolphins in there that day. She's all class. She's improved every U.S. start. She showed more tactical speed last time. I feel like she's in a different class than the gals that are here.
Yeah, I put the 4 on top. For all the reasons with Beautiful Love, La Mahena. And, La Mahena, here's how I look. And, I sort of played a little bit of weatherman. If you look at this horse's races in Europe, ran well on soft turfs. I'm seeing rain here for the last couple of days. Maybe this horse, of course, comes off that performance winning the mile of 3.8 via Borghese. We'll show you that video right now. And I think this horse has got a good shot today.
Well, here's the thing about the Via Borghese. The gang is all here, right? And after a mile and 3/8, they were separated by about 4 inches. I had Marksman Queen this day. She was rank as all heck, fighting Jorge Ruiz for about 4 furlongs. La Mahina is going to gut it out for Team Clement and Dylan Davis. Very, very good effort. You can see Forever After All flying late at even money. A little bit of a trouble there. She wasn't going to win anyway. They all hit the line together. I don't love when that happens, Ron.
The trainer of that horse is Christophe Clement. What a nice meet they've been having, early on. So the horses have been running exceptionally well. We got a stat that we want to show you on Christophe Clement, on that horse we just showed, La Mahena. And here it is. We'll pop it up right now. And it is winner last out on the turf routes at Gulfstream in the past 5 years. You knew this was going to be 28, 29%. 313 is the return investment. That's pretty good.
Those are big, big numbers. She'll have to step her game up today, but you just saw right there that she wants to beat you. She's got a lot of class to her. She can be put in the race early. And, again, I've said it time and time again. He backs me up. Samantha backs me up. Dylan Davis has just come down here and been a world of fire.
Yeah, and, we both have some interest in Chop Chop, so I think Chop Chop could run pretty well.
Chop Chop's going to sit a nice trip. She's going to be off the speed, and she's going to get first run on these horses. First time with Pletcher, and you get IRAD.
Yeah, Forever If the World Good Horse that's in that race was second in the Grade 3 red something. I can't read my writing, but red carpet? Yeah, red carpet, I think it is. Well, you know what? We're going to take a break. When we come back, we didn't even start yet. When we come back, we got more to tell you about, and it'll be
Rainbow.
Rainbow. Oh, it's Rainbow Six time. That's right.
And they're off.
New DRF All Access Past Performances. With one best-in-class product, you now get all 3 past performance formats. Easily switch between views. Access the most trusted information in horse racing with DRF All Access Past Performances. Go to DRF.com and use coupon code 1FREEPP for a free single card today.
Welcome back to Gulfstream today, Ron and Brian, and this is a sort of a marathon for us this afternoon, trying to get all these great races and replays in. Brian, we're doing a pretty good job so far. I'm watching the clock, and we're doing all right. And guess what? When race number 8, it'll be Rainbow Six time. It's going to be a mile race, and it's the 40th running of the Fred Hooper, and this is a Grade 3 event with no scratches. Let's look at my ticket real quick here. It's $43.20. I got the 3, and here's my Rocky Can.
Wow.
I'm trying to beat Thumbarumba, as I mentioned. Race number 9, my top pick is the 11 Bold Act. We'll show you a video of that. Race number 10, I just went too deep in there with the 1 and the number 10, Sacred Wish. And race number 11, 3 deep for me. My top pick is the number 9, and that is Emery. Race number 12, I went on top with the number... Which one do I have on top? I think I have the number, I forgot to mark it down. Number 11, I believe, is on top. And no, number 5 is on top. And number 13, I'm going with the 3 horses I think have the best shot. Saudi Crown, White Barrio, and Locked.
43.20.
43.20.
$1 million in the estimate.
We got a late scratch in it. It was going to be 64.80, I believe, and it got scratched out. So,
look at you.
Hey, look at that. So saving some money.
Single right off the rip.
Oh, yeah. I'm not fooling around. You know, like, what do you always say? Rip the Band-Aid off right away?
off.
Rocket Can is one of my favorite horses. And you want to show the video?
Why
first?
not? Starts through these guys, right? Tumbarumba and Rocket Can throwing it down in the 2-turn Harlan's Holiday. They'll cut back to 1 turn today.
Yeah, but see how it runs in. Rocket Can is just one of my favorite horses here, Brian. So, won the Fountain of Youth, the Holy Bull, so just...
He likes it here.
Right.
Bill Mott has done a great job with him. He opted to pass on the Pegasus. He thought it was a bridge too far. He'll cut back to 1 turn today. He's run well at 1 turn. Ronnie said it perfectly. He's 2 for 3 right here at Gulfstream Park. Ran so well in the Fountain Youth behind the champion Forte. He's going to get some hitting up front. The only question I had about him, Ron, does he regress a little bit? Because that right there, what you just saw, was a lifetime best.
That was a lifetime best. And what I liked about it, I got to interview Junior after the race. He's a horse that he followed through to the Kentucky Derby and all that. He liked this horse. So I just went there. Hey, you got to go. Like you said, it's a tough card. You did go with the number 8, Bourbon Resolve. And that's not a shock to me at all with Bourbon Resolve today.
This is my long shot today. It's a reach. I get it. But he comes in off a 2-turn win at Churchill. He has a lot of foundation off all of those 2-turn races. I think there's going to be a lot of speed in here. A 1-turn mile on the main track at Gulfstream Park goes very quick early on. You've got Upstanding off a maiden special weight win for Pletcher. Going to try the big boys today. He's going to have to go. There's Tumbarumba, doesn't let anybody get away early. Little Vic from down on the inside. Northern Flame. There's a lot of speed in here. Maybe Bourbon Resolve runs it down, Ron. It's a price.
Yeah, and with the number 3 horse in Rocket Kent, similar situation. It doesn't need the lead. You know,
no, that's what's going to flatter him.
That's going to flatter him. So we'll see how that plays out. You know, like you got to either use 6 horses in here or take a stand. I took a stand. We'll flip the page, go to race number 9. We got lots going on in this race. It's a 1.5 miles. It's the 58th running of the W.M. McKnight Grade 3 event. Scratch the 4, 15, and number 16 so far, and we'll see how it plays out. I think one more might come up. I'm not sure of that. Pete will update you with all of that. Not only is it Samantha's late pick 5, this is where the Tropical Turf pick 3 starts, so we got 2 tickets to show you now.
Late pick 5, Samantha and I filmed a video. This could be a $3 million pool today. Look at her ticket here. She'll single the 11, Bold Act. Clearly the horse to be spreading in race 10 and 12. Race 11, you can see another single of Emery. And in race 13, she's got 3 deep in the Pegasus, as Ronnie did, I believe. Yep. The 3 logical, the 3 favorites, the 2 Saudi Crown is her top pick. Let's switch over now to the TTP pick 3. They're prognosticating. How about that, Ronnie? Whoa. 250 in this pool, and I don't disagree with that either. $3 base bet and a 15% takeout. If you want to talk about the best bet we will offer you today at Gulfstream Park, this is it. She's got the single, and then 4 deep and 3 deep in the Pegasus Turf. You can see it there, and of course she'll talk more in depth about this later.
Yeah, so it's a good ticket, and I like the late pick 5. Agreed with a lot of the horses that I picked. So we'll see how this plays out this afternoon. Now we're stretching it out to 1.5 miles. So what you started with Utah Beach or Bold Act?
No, I went. This is a post position race for me, Ron. I know Limited Liability lost to Bold Act earlier in his career. It was by 1 length. Today, Limited Liability gets to save every single inch of ground going 1.5 miles. In Bold Act, don't forget now, we're going 3 turns here. Bold Act, to me, runs the risk of losing a lot of ground throughout this race, and that's why I swapped him, even though I think we would probably all agree Bold Act is the best horse in the horse to beat.
Yeah, and Limited Liability. I just, ran against Integration last time, but that was like a jiggy jog in the park there, so I just think these are the logical 2. Yep. And you saw in my Rainbow 6, I just used 2 in here. I could make a case, Brian, for the 8 Yamato. Maybe you make a case for Utah Beach and Bold Act. You want to show that?
Yeah, let's show it, because they were pretty close last time. And Utah Beach likes 1.5 miles. I don't know if he has the class to win this, but this is the Sycamore at Keeneland, and this is a good race. And Bold Act is going to come up a nose short. Well, Utah Beach came up 4 1/4 lengths short, so he's got a pretty sizable gap to make up on Bold Act. The Godolphin Blue, again, great to see Charlie Appleby, so well respected here and around the country. Great to see him and Godolphin running horses today. He got run down by Highway Robber here. Big effort, though, by Bold Act, and there's no doubt about that. The race goes through him.
Yeah, without a doubt. You can make a case for that tough outside post, but not at 1.5 miles. I have to. It's not. You can get position.
All right,
especially if you got a horse that's maybe a notch better than everybody in the field.
Yeah.
So sort of place you where you want. But that's the beauty of having these jockeys that are the best in the world on them. So we go to race number 10. This is the 4th running of the Pegasus World Cup Filly and Mare Turf Invitational, brought to you by Sir Davis American Whiskey, and it's 1 mile and 1/16. Fillies and Mares 4 and up. Scratch to 5. Fluffy Socks, the 9 Ocean Club, the number 12. See you around 13 and 14. MSCL Jaramillo will ride to 14. We got Brian's. Is this the final pick 4 of the day?
This is it. We're not offering you any more.
I could say final.
This pool, well over $1 million, maybe $2 million. $27 ticket for me. You can see no singles for me. I'll go 3 deep in here. Race number 11, and that is, of course, the inside information. Bummer there. I lost my top pick, unfortunately. I do scratch in to the 7 Mystic Lake in the Pegasus Turf. I'm taking a shot at a price with me, Hermano Ramon, the California Invader, and in the big one, the World Cup, to wrap up this absolutely just blockbuster 13 race card. I've got a price, and that is the 6 Stronghold coming in from California. Our sister track, I'm hoping, treats me right today in this late pick 4.
Well, we'll see how it all plays out in here this afternoon, and getting to this race at 1 mile and 1/16. And as I mentioned, the 4th running. How did you see it play out? We got a bunch of videos we want to show in here.
Yeah, guys, let's start with Be Your Best, my top pick. She cut back in the Swanee River. Now, that's the local prep. And she was good, Ron, and she had been running long, 1 3/8 and 1 1/4, and we all kind of wondered, hey, would this be a little sharp for her? I love the ride Edgar Zayas gave her. He put her right in the race. Her foundation of longer races played out. She is absolutely streaking to the line. Papilio's the 4 with a nightmare trip. She would not have won the race. She would have been closer in the race. She's a player as well with clear sailing. The 12, all the way on the outside now. That was Bless My Stars, who I wanted to give a look in this race. Ugh, she got beat up by the post position again, Ron.
We'll see how it plays out there. Brian, I went with the number 10 horse, and you got further down in your ticket, Sacred Wish. And when I was handicapping this race, I absolutely thought this was the horse to beat off those 2 performances in Del Mar. Comes and wins the Grade 1, going a mile. I thought it was very impressive. Has won at a mile in the 16, stretching out. Johnny Velasquez for George Weaver. I thought this horse was going to sit a really nice trip in here today, on the outside with that perfect stalking style.
That perfect John Velasquez patented 2-3 path stalking style. Bring up the race, guys, please, because Rakaya beat her on the square, and I think now Rakaya might get loose in here, just like she did in the Goldakova, where Fluffy Socks is out, obviously. Sacred Wish was here. She ran 3rd, beaten 2 lengths. Rakaya just simply forgot to stop, and now in the hands of Todd Pletcher for Shadwell, Frankie Dettori on the inside with a speed horse. He's going to put her on the lead. The question is, how much pace pressure does she take early on in this race? Because if you're on a horse like a Papilio, if you're on a horse like a Manushka, if you're on these closers, Bless My Stars, you're going to know after a quarter mile if you have any chance or not. Yeah. Because if the one is freewheeling on the lead, you have no chance whatsoever.
Yeah, Frank Dettori, as you mentioned, will be in the saddle, and that is a really nice race. Well, we're getting there, but not quite, because we got 2 fantastic. Now, race number 11, the inside information, 7 furlongs. This is a Grade 2 event. Now, we had the scratch bug hit here. We lost the 1, the 2, the 3, and the number 5 horse in this race, Brian. So, what do we do here? We only got 3 picks to show you. You scratched into the 7. Yeah. I always had the 9, and Samantha's single Emery on top.
Well, you go first.
Yeah, Emery I just thought was the logical horse in here. Now with the scratches in the race, I don't really know. We just got that late scratch of the 1, how this race is going to play out. But if you look at this horse's performance in the Raven Run, I thought it was very impressive. And with that race produces 3 next out winners, including Ways and Means. So I just thought that this horse would run exceptionally well today. And you got great connections with Brad Cox, Tyler Gaffleone. Lots to like here.
The only knock I have on her, and it might just be because she hasn't been able to do it yet, is she's got to beat older horses today. Right, yeah. That's all. But now in an unfortunate 5-pack, she gets all the best of it, being outside everybody. Tyler's just going to look to the left and see what's going on. She wants to win races. She's 5 for 7. She's got so much class, as you mentioned. The only horse really she lost to this year was Ways and Means. Yeah, who's the best 3-year-old sprinter in the country. You have to use her. I'm not picking her on top, but you have to use her.
Mystic, like we always talk, most of the time talk about 7 furlongs. This horse comes off the win in the Sugar Squirrel, 3 for 4 at 7/8 of a mile.
Yeah, you like that, right?
Yeah.
She didn't wow anyone in her comeback, but she didn't have to wow anyone in her comeback. It was a means to an end. It was to get her to this race. She has the feather in her cap of beating older horses in the Sugar Squirrel. She also has a win over the track. Emery doesn't have either of those. That's why I think Mystic Lake has a little bit of an edge, but admittedly, I was trying to beat both of them. Unfortunately, I can't do that.
What about Olivia Darling? You want to show something that she did last time out?
I do. I think Samantha picked her. She's the other horse she's using.
Right.
I don't like her at all. I thought her stablemate ran way better. Now, Olivia Darling won this race last year. If she reproduces that race, she will win it again this year. I didn't like this effort, Ron. Look at her drifting out. She's in about the 12 path here. I thought her stablemate ran better in this race, Unsolved Mystery. She was doing all the dirty work. I know the class of Olivia Darling kicked in late. I did not like this effort at all. She gets helped by scratches today and all of that. She is the horse to me. I'm fading in this race.
Really interesting when you're handicapping. Now that it's a 5-horse field, you got to figure out who's going to be where in this race.
It turns into a jock's race.
It really does. It really does. So going to race number 12, this one, 1 mile and 1/8. Of course, it's the 7th running of the Pegasus World Cup Turf International, brought to you by Qatar Racing Grade 1 event. Scratch the 1Cs of Boston. My long shot this afternoon. Also scratch the 14. Very happy that the number 13 Fort Washington got in with Junior Alvarado.
Junior. I just want to say something real quick. He was 20-1 on the morning line because he was an AE.
Right.
He is not 20-1 in this race. I promise you that. He will be much lower, and he is a legitimate win contender.
So your stand horse here, is Mi Hermano Ramon.
Let's check it out, guys. From Santa Anita last time in the San Gabriel, and the horse that ran him down in this race was Johannes. And Johannes was aiming for this race. Unfortunately, he couldn't make it. If he did make it, he would either be favored or he would be second choice on the morning line behind the favorite, Nation's Pride. He was robbed of the Turf Eclipse Award.
Right.
That's a topic for another day,
right.
But he is all class. Well, this is the wrong replay. This is the local prep. The win for the money in Major Dude's.
Right.
Major Dude wins the race. He ran fine. Fort Washington, there he is running on late. I'm a little leery of the local prep.
Yeah,
I didn't love Major Dude. To his credit, he stepped into Graded Stakes Company that day and won it. I think the Fort Lauderdale horses are house horses. I think they're a little bit looking up at some of these, Ron.
Well, let's show that video now of me, Hermano Ramon. We just had him queued up a little wrong. So if we can show that video now, please.
There we go. Now, again, here he is. 3-4 deep here. He's trying to loop. He's going to make first run. Johannes is the 4 down on the inside, and we're going to roll this here. Johannes is in the pink. So he gets first run, mi hermano Ramon. Johannes with all the class in the world, grade 1 wins through and through, second in the Breeders' Cup Mile, and a phenomenal effort. He's going to kind of get shuffled. He was the best this day. You can't take it away from him. Mi Hermano Ramon is a serious horse, Ron. And you know what I like about this race here is the tactical speed he has. And the other big thing is who was riding him that day, Ronnie.
Right.
Luis Saez was out there that day. And now Luis Saez is back. He knows what he's got under the hood. He got run down by a better horse. He got run down by a horse that might very well have won this race today. I think he's a big, big player in here.
Yeah, I got him on the ticket for that. We talked about this the other day. I came over and after the line, I said, is this too short for Nation's Pride? He's going to be the big favorite. And I kept saying, now I scratched into him today. You see he's 7 up there, but I was going for another shot, and I just bumped him up. But I love the fact that I got the 13 in, which we'll talk about. But Nation's Pride, we got a video with him in integration, right?
Here's the thing about, he's the horse to beat. Ronnie texted me this the other day. It's a weird race in the Arlington Million. You see the winner, the leaders there 20 lengths ahead.
Right.
This is sharp for him. Look at all his best work. It's going longer. He comes in off a total dud race at Bahrain. The Godolphin colors, again, we know them so well. Charlie Appleby, William Buick. He's the horse to beat. I admittedly, I don't understand the hype about integration. He was favored implausibly in this race last year. I still don't know why. Maybe it's the connections. I don't really get it. He's got Frankie Dettori on today. That's great. If you look at his form, Ron, any time he's been in with the big boys, he has blinked every single time.
Right. So
I don't like him at all.
So the point we're trying to make, I think, somewhere in this whole thing is that the 7, I think, could be beaten here, and it's going to take an awful lot of money.
He is. I don't know. Maybe they bet integration again.
Yeah, right.
I don't know why they did it last year. The 7 is so much the horse to beat. He just beat integration for fun there.
Well, let's talk about Fort Washington. Excuse me. I keep saying Port, being from New York, And by the way, the 14 is scratched at it. I told you that before. So this horse, I think, has got a huge shot in here.
He does have a shot. Can we bring it up again, guys? We got a second here. Can we bring it up again? I want to show it because he was following Major Dude. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Here's Win for the Money. Win for the Money got sucked into making first run.
Right.
I thought he was a cinch this day. Don't sleep on him, by the way. But here's Fort Washington. He's following Major Dude.
Right.
And he can't run with him. So, and even Major Dude's even waiting, by the way, for a seam, while Fort Washington has a clear run. They're both very, very good horses. Your long shot getting absolutely butchered with a trip there. He can't match strides here with Major Dude. And I don't think Major Dude was at the bottom of what he had. Now, Fort Washington is way out there, too. I think he's a legitimate player. I don't know about an actual win candidate.
Siege of Boston.
Yeah.
Not in the race. That horse was going to run well today. But it is what it is.
Oh, well.
So anything else before we flip the page and go to the big one?
Flip it.
Flip it. The big one, 1 mile and 1/8. It is the 9th running of the Pegasus World Cup Invitational Grade 1, $3 million. Scratch the number 8 horse in here, Vitality, and a field of 11 will go to the post. And boy, there's so many horses here that are so close in ability, you know. Now, Locked is the favorite on the morning line, rightly so. Us watching races here all the time at 1 mile and 1/8. You're going to have some kind of engine to go from post 11.
Well, let's start with him.
10 now with the
yeah, good point. Oh, that's a good point. Let's start with him. Bring up the cigar mile with Locked here because he's the morning line favorite. He's the horse to beat. He was a decisive winner of this race. He was kind of a lost horse as a 3-year-old, couldn't make the Triple Crown. Well, now he's really progressing. He's coming to hand quickly for the Hall of Famer Todd Pletcher and John Velasquez. You can see him extending. The distance is no issue at all. My partner makes a very, very good point, one that I admittedly forgot about. A scratch gets him 1 stall closer. You still don't like to be out there at 9 furlongs. Just check out this race. Go back and watch Pegasus's. Go back and watch Curlin Florida Derbies just to see what's going on and what we're talking about. The run to the first turn is so quick.
Now, I went with White Barrio.
Yep.
And I'll tell you why. We got to watch this race. His comeback was just smashing. 10 lengths, we're going to show it. And then he comes back. Breaks bad in that race. We're going to show that? We could show that. Yeah,
here's the start. It was legitimately a bad start.
Yeah, we'll show you.
You're going to see him break slow and then get sawed off.
And he hopped and everything,
Yes.
So.
And now I've got him, Ronnie, my notes. Where are they? I've got him 9 wide on the far turn.
Yeah, right.
Okay? This is no good.
Yeah. And they just think that, sometimes you think, well, I got this Cadillac here. Let me put him in 4th gear and see what happens. I just think he ran out of real estate. With this said, it was 7 furlongs. You know, the 1 mile and 1/8. This horse just absolutely loves this horse. I thought this was an incredible race after that bad start. Yeah, maybe he could have run a little bit better, but I think he's going to move so much forward off that. It's just hard going from 2 7s to 8 furlongs, to 9 furlongs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So maybe that's the little bit of a problem for him today.
He better put up today because that's not cutting it.
Yeah.
Vic was 1,000 to 1, and he was all out to run by him. That leaves a bad taste in my mouth. Watched Little Vic earlier on the card. We better see the fastball from White Barrio today, or he will not hit the board.
We saw a Sorty Crown out here, yesterday for Brad Cox, and he's
a little hot out there.
Yeah, little thing I found out. Look at his 2 best races, or couple of his best races with Lasix. He's not getting Lasix today. He said he was a little hot out there. I mean, it's a cool day here for us in South Florida. Does that matter? Am I grabbing at things here?
I'm going to make a comparison, Ronnie, and I think you're going to pick up what I'm putting down. He is the dirt version of Integration.
There you go.
What's he ever done?
Yeah, really.
He runs fast figures against nobodies. I know he won the PA Derby. Those races in the slop, they don't count at Parks to me. Good, cool. He won the Tenacious. Good for him. All these other races, I know he ran well in the Saudi Crown. That's 1 turn, by the way. He's supposed to be in front here. You like to be in front in the Pegasus. 7 of 8 winners have been 1, 2, or 3 at the pace call, and the other one that wasn't was 4th. He's going to be one of the favorites. Favorites have dominated this race. I'm totally fine if he wants to win without me.
And once again, as I pointed out, he's got 6 wins, 4 of them with Lasix. The other 2 were like, anybody could have won them. I don't mean it that way. But,
you might be onto something.
And we talked about White Barrio. Let your top pick here. Oh, the Stronghold, of course. Your top pick. Look, going for a shot. How did we miss this one?
It's a reach, okay, but he won our sister tracks race, the Santa Anita Derby. He finally ran fast in the Malibu. That was at 7 furlongs. He's going to stretch back out. He's got the win in the Santa Anita Derby at this distance. He needs to improve. He'll be close early. I'm not going to pretend to tell you I know a lot about Antonio Frezu, but I have the utmost respect for Samantha's opinion, and she thinks he's as good as anybody out there. He's going to put this horse into the race early. He's going to be a price. I'll take a shot.
Yeah, trained by Phil D'Amato, so you're going to get
absolutely
a good effort. So that's the 13 races, right? Anything else?
Right on time. The only thing I've got to add is just get involved. Take some rubber bands off your bankroll. The horizontal wagers, the pools will be astronomically large today, as will the payouts. It's a Breeders' Cup kind of day where you're allowed to overextend your bankroll a little bit because you have a legitimate chance of lifetime scores.
Saw a guy running by me. That's why I turned my head. Yeah, it's going to be a fantastic day. And if you love beautiful, beautiful weather, we got it here. Fast main track, firm turf course, the all-weather Tapeta. Oodles and noodles. We got pick fours. I lost count to how many pick fours.
4 and 4.
4 and 4. It's very easy. He knows all that stuff. I know. Good luck, everybody. We're going to turn it over to Pete Aiello with all the scratches and changes that you need to have the most important thing, a winning day here at Gulfstream Park.